Namaste, good morning. Namaste, Kumar Priya. Namaste, all the calls for us. Welcome to the morning session.
Namaste भैया, namaste everyone.
Ji Priya. So, sharing session of the 12th batch of morning session started from 27th of this month. So, Priya, today we have sharing by Nidhi Didi. Shall we start the sharing?
Sure भैया.
Ji. So, Namaste, Nidhi Didi.
जी नमस्ते भैया नमस्ते all.
Namaste, Didi. So, I will put your brief introduction, though it is not very necessary. Still, for the uh, formality sake, I will just give a brief introduction and then you can place your share bill. So, as we all know, Mrs. Nidhi Chirag Sachade Didi, she is a faculty member in Information Technology Department in Shivaji Rao Donple College of Engineering, Dombivli, Mumbai. And she's conducting UHP courses at the VJIT College, Matunga. She has been there in this UHP family since 2020 in the COVID time. And she's volunteering in several UHP activities, face-to-face online workshops, and there are many others, video editing. There are many other activities, as we all know. She is also part of this morning session team, and she's part of the moderator team of the morning session. So, with this very brief introduction, I welcome Nidhi for her sharing in the morning session. Nidhi, over to you now. Thank you.
जी thank you so much भैया. Namaste all. My name is Nidhi Chirag Sachade. I stay in Dombivli, Maharashtra, and I'm associated with UHV activities since the first workshop I went through, July 2020. We had this course getting started at that year, so I went through the workshop and I got connected to few proposals at that time. And overall, I could see that this is very much important and relatable to life. So I wanted to understand more. It took a very long time, and it is still taking a long time. Now also I'm able to see, to understand things. A few observations this time I was able to have. Meantime, when I was going through the exercises, I felt I am stuck up. I'm not able to get more of it. Many a times listening to the same thing, I thought that has created this impact. And then one of the workshop face-to-face came. And while the proposals were getting shared, I could see that when I'm able to relate with it, then this stucking up cannot happen. And that gave me a good direction after that. And I continued in the 12th batch. Now we would be starting with this exercise 1. So this step 1 is be aware. Now the shift which I'm able to see that in a minute if I see, then the focus lasts for very less time. But overall in a day if I see, then at least now I'm aware about major incidents which are taking place around. One more thing which I could notice this time differently was it is going too fast, the imagination. and my speed of observation is such that I'm missing on many things, and still my focus is on objects of attention. So uh, I was sitting one day to observe how I'm able to see to it, and I could see that um, very quickly the object of attention was changing. So I started with my mother, then I went on a dish, then I went on a clothes, then I went on for my daughter. So it was changing very quickly, and I thought I'm not getting any time to deduce the feeling out of it. But slowly, when I thought that I want to continue with this exercise, I was able to deduce the feeling also with each object. And that is happening when I take the decision. Otherwise, now also I'm missing on it many a times. And when I take a look back for a day, I'm able to see that many moments in a day were like blank for me. I was completely unaware. And when I was doing this analysis, that when I am aware, when I was like thinking that nothing is happening, I am blank, still the things outside were happening, and major accidents took place in that time when I was unaware. Initially, when I started, I was reacting to things which I was able to notice. So if I notice feeling of opposition, I was reacting how I can be so bad, how I can have feeling of opposition in me. That with that it started, and now it is the state that I am noticing the reactions are reduced. I would say it is not completely gone, but it is very much reduced to the extent that it is not troubling me. Now I continue with this decision to keep my observation going on. But earlier, I used to be very much pressurized about it, that I have to be aware, I have to be aware. Now I am okay. Whenever I see the need, I take the decision, I continue. Very soon, I shift. Very quickly, I get lost in my imagination. Again, I remember, again, I come back. Now, this whole process is going smoothly. There is no reaction to it. And this is all about the first step. And now I could come to this conclusion that being unaware is the root cause of many mishappenings in my life. And I want to continue to observe, and this is possible. Um, it started with noticing it after so long, like 2 days, 3 days, a month also it used to take me to notice that I went through this. Now the duration has reduced, and like very few moments I was able to see that it is happening parallelly. It was very for a very few times it was there, but I think I was able to get the glimpse of it, that I am observing and things are happening, and that is going on simultaneously. And I could see that I was very comfortable at that time when I was able to notice it. With second step, I'm able to see uh, that when I notice the feeling, this difference I'm able to see, that earlier when this question was getting asked, what is naturally acceptable relationship or opposition? I used to answer, um, and that was very at the surface level. I was getting a feel of it, but very less time. Now that recognition of feeling is happening, I think, at a different level, and I'm able to feel that the feeling of trust is there or mistrust is there, feeling of respect is there or disrespect is there. And I'm able to make out that what is naturally acceptable and what is not naturally acceptable when asked. This is not happening naturally in a flow, but when I take a pause, I think I'm able to deduce it. Few days back, I'm able to recall my husband came in the evening and he had actually a holiday on that day. So he went out for some work and he came early. And the time he came home, I suddenly started complaining about so many things. I was complaining about Ritya. I was complaining about how our society is uh, having so much of noise and how the college environment is not so suitable. And all of this complaint was going on. And he was asking me, what is wrong with you? Like, how come suddenly this outburst? I was asking myself, and still I was not getting the answer. I took that pause, I asked, and again I continued with the reactions outside, the complaints outside. Now I am able to see that reason is that I was not aware. I wanted to, but I could not take the decision. And hence, I could not deduce the feeling also at that time. And so, the question of is it naturally acceptable or not, I was not able to come to this conclusion. I continued with it. With that, when I come to this third step, when it is naturally acceptable, I am in harmony. When it is not, I am in contradiction. Earlier, I was not able to make out the difference between step 2 and 3. But this time, while it was getting discussed, while it was there in my imagination, I was thinking that yes, I am able to make out that the second step is asking me about if it is naturally acceptable, and third step is helping me to identify my own state. That time when the step was getting discussed, it was very helpful for me to get this difference. And with that, I could notice many examples. A few of them, one day, one of my friend, I call her my close friend, she came to my house and she was talking to me, and suddenly she saw on the um, kitchen platform some medicines were kept, and she told me suddenly, I think your whole life is going to be spent on medicines only. You will keep taking medicines full of your life. When I heard this, I became very uncomfortable. And I was in opposition, I was not in harmony. This much I could notice. The other day, I was getting ready to go to college, and we have arrangement in our society that auto drivers stand in a queue. I went to one of them and I said, I want to go to college. And he straight away denied that if you are going to station, then I'm ready to come. To your college, I won't come. That is to the other side. I felt that opposition in me. the other day, like 2, 3 days before only, I got a call from my colleague, and when I saw her name on my phone screen, at that very moment, I had a position. Actually, we both were involved in preparing a report, and just one day before, I had completed it, and I was thinking almost all the report is done by me only. She was just sitting by my side, and I had told her that if there is some lacuna in it, then you please look at it. Now I'm done with this work. I have spent enough of time. Now I don't want to work on it. I had told her, and still she is giving me call. And I could notice the call ring duration must have been very less. But in this whole, while the call was still ringing, this whole thing, again, I was able to recall that I had instructed her actually that I am done with this work, but see, still she is calling me. These were some of the examples I could notice that opposition was there. It was not naturally acceptable. I was not in harmony. And to the other side, I was also able to locate a few incidents. Um, I have this habit only that I come out of the lift and I wait for the other person to go inside. And I was thinking, let me find out if it is out of habit or I feel comfortable with it. So one day I decided that I will not wait. And I came out, took 1, 2 steps, and the other person was coming by other side. And when the person was trying to get inside, the lift door were closing and the person got hit by it. I felt very uncomfortable. And then I thought I will now keep the observation open that when I'm helping someone, how do I feel? It is out of any background. Why I want to help is the other reason, other concern, but I will just observe when I'm helping, how do I feel? And I could find out that I was comfortable at that time. If more analysis I am not doing, if I'm helping, I am having feeling of relationship, I'm comfortable. This much I was able to make out. With this third step and second step, I was able to see that jealousy, fear, pressure, comparison, differentiation, whenever any of this is happening in me, I am having opposition in me. But the moment I find some similarity with the other person, any similarity, the basis is anything right now. And if I notice that I'm similar to the other, but the basis is still something else only. That they are from my place. They are also going through same problems like me. They are also in my from my department. The basis is anything. But the moment I find similarity, I relate and I become comfortable. With fourth step, who decides the feeling, I'm able to see that when I sit, I take a pause, I run it in me, then I come to conclusion that it is I who is responsible. But most of the times, I keep blaming things around me, and that is very much vigilant now that I blame. Earlier, I used to be very uncomfortable with it, that how I can blame. But now I think I have accepted it that this sanskar is there in me, that I start with the opposition. When I come to a conclusion, like this whole process of steps happens, then I'm okay. But otherwise, this blaming part goes on, and it is not only people, but it is situation. And that day, this example which I was sharing earlier, that my husband came and I was complaining. When I worked on it after some time, I gave this reason to myself that actually in the evening times I become very hungry. I come from college. I have not prepared food yet, and at the same time I have to deal with other household chore. So I keep justifying myself that I'm not getting time to eat, and hence I'm upset with it. So that is how the conclusion comes to me, is it is hunger which is disturbing. And many a times this is how some other person comes in picture, some other situation comes in picture, and I put whole thing to their part. This 100% responsibility part I'm yet not able to take naturally. When I go through this whole analysis, then I come to it, but otherwise it is not happening. And now with that, when I come to fifth step, on what basis I'm deciding the feeling, and I'm able to see that it is getting governed by assumptions. Many a times it is assumptions only. We had this assignment, the feeling I have behind the work, and I'm able to see that when I have this feeling which is like comfortable, that is making the difference in the work I do. When I'm carried away with the assumption about something, I'm still continuing with the work, but that assumption like changes very quickly, and I still carry on with the work, and this comfortable state goes on in me, and I feel tired after that work. um, I decided one day that I will observe how it is impacting. And my husband always tells me that when I prepare food for my brother, it always tastes differently. But other times when I'm preparing food, it is not the same. So I thought when he's telling it to me multiple times, I need to observe. And I could see it clearly. When I am preparing food for him, I am filled with feeling of affection for him. And with that feeling, every time whenever he is around, this food preparation part is done like with complete involvement at the level of feelings. But other times when I'm doing this work, it is like a mundane task which I do every day. I notice a feeling, then there is some shift, like in 1 2 steps the shift comes. Again I become unaware, and I still carry on with the work, many a times with opposition also, that it is me who has to do all the course, and that is how it goes on. If I go to the sixth step now, part A, I'm able to see that it is important to understand the natural feeling, like relationship or opposition, harmony or disharmony, coexistence or struggle. When I asked this question, answer came to me about relationship, harmony, and coexistence. And this time I could notice that at some incidents, I was so engrossed in that situation that I said to myself, opposition is only making me comfortable, and still I want to carry with opposition only. And now I'm able to see that time this assumption and sanskar was so much prevailing in me that I was finding it very difficult to take the shift from to what is naturally acceptable or what is making me comfortable. Like for half an hour, if it is going on, for a very few moments, 1 or 2 moments, I thought this is making me so uncomfortable that I want to come out of it. And I can decide and I can come out of it. But very next moment, I said, no, this is right that I have to be in a position and this has to get conveyed to the other person so that they understand it is their fault this time. The assignment which we went through for step 6, I think it was very much helpful this time to find out this whole part that um, the assignment was like this: am I having the feeling of relationship for every other person at all times? And if I have a feeling of relationship, what sort of thoughts I will be having about the others? What will be my behavior be like with the others? I went through it multiple times and I came to this finding that it is not for every person at all times. With one person, if I choose it, then for that one person also it keeps changing. But if I am somehow able to carry on with the feeling of relationship, then I noticed the changes in the thoughts in my behavior. So it so happened that with one of my relative, um, I was having this not all the time opposition, but most of the times it was opposition. And I was convincing myself that I have feeling of relationship with for this person, and out of the concern I'm having opposition and complaints for him. So I gave a call to my Masi, and I was telling, how this person is behaving. I am taking so much effort for him, and still he is not behaving well. And I was complaining. And suddenly I could notice that this is happening in me. So, what is the possibility of shift? I, I convinced myself that the shift will take place only when other person at least take 1% of effort. That was going on. But then again and again, when I was asking, this did not happen in one go. After series of observations, I saw this shift that when I take this decision that I want to continue with feeling of relationship for this person, I started to get ways to reach out this to this person well. And upon my trials in my thoughts, it sometimes reflected in behavior. Many a times it did not reflect in the behavior, like there was no interaction happening with this other person. And then I noticed few changes in this other person's behavior also. I think I want to go ahead with this activity of contemplation within myself all the time. And when I got a glimpse of it, I'm not sure whether it was, but I thought it is that I am contemplating about the feeling of relationship more time and I am getting way out. So this blame part to the other person reduced to a very great extent for this one person only. And one day I was asking Bhaiya, um, that with one person it is happening, with the other person it is not happening. And then he helped me see that it is not about person, but it is about what is going on in you at that time. And then I thought, okay, the way itself was got not going right. I was considering a person, then I was seeing the feeling. Then when the person's behavior changed, I go into opposition. So more than person, what is going on in me, that is important to identify. And hence with that part, relationship, harmony, this part I think I'm able to place a little better than what I used to do earlier. About this third part of coexistence, till this batch 11, I had so much struggle in me about whatever is happening around outside. But now I think with this batch, I am able to relate with this whole thing of existence, coexistence in me. And many a times I noticed, I surrendered it like this, that I'm not able to work on myself, I need help. And in some form, I received the help. So, this proposal, which is there in the workshop, that there is every provision in the coexistence for human beings to understand, I got few glimpses of it. And this opposition, which was there in me, got reduced to a good extent this time. With that, this time I was able to uh, make out this difference between 6A and 6B, then a relevance of 6B step to 7th A. I identify in 6A that relationship is naturally acceptable. In 6B, I was able to see that it is not there all the time. So I need to take effort. And with 7th A, I was able to see that if I take decision at this moment, at least for this moment, I'm able to resolve. Doing it for the next moment is the task which I have to do, and that cannot happen without awareness. Towards 7B, I was able to see that it is not happening in a natural manner. It means my effort is still required. That completeness is not, of course, there. So I have to carry on with it, and it is possible. This time I got surety within me that this whole process is possible to do. I can do it. And whenever I take decision, whenever I find that this is very much important for me to take shift, the uncomfort is not bearable. And at that time, I take decision and go through this whole process. So I have developed that um, surety in this whole process this time. This was about exercise 1. Coming to exercise 2, I am there, body is there. This is happening. I'm able to see whenever I take decision. This second step, that I transact information time to time, I was able to do this, um, I think from when we started with this exercise, I was trying with this step. And every time I could see that um, duration for which I'm able to do, or the activities for which I am to do, has been increasing. Like I earlier started with telling myself stop, start. Then I went on for few activities. I tried slow cooking. I tried slow writing. I tried slow reading. And I wanted to see, is it I every time uh, who is passing the instruction, who is reading the sensation. So that went on. I have tried this. The third step, with regard to body, I think I'm pretty much okay to see that I am taking the decision and passing it to the body. So I am responsible. When it comes to imagination part, I still blame. But when it comes to body part, that who is instructing, that most of the times I'm able to come to this part that yes, it is I. So every gesture, every expression, every word which I'm uh, taking it out, it is I who is deciding. Till step three, I'm completely fine with this whole part. So whenever I decide, I'm able to do. Coming to fourth step, I was since starting, I was not able to come out to any conclusion for this step. And this time also, I am thinking that I'm not able to come to any conclusion. But the difference which I could notice this time was there are three parts to it. Um, am I the sensation? Am I in the sensation? Am I separate from the sensation? So for the first part, am I the sensation? The answer is no. Am I in the sensation? I am very much engrossed in that sensation that I feel that I am only the sensation. Only sometimes I have been able to notice that I am separate. Very few moments, but most of the times I still carry with this part that I am in the sensation. Yesterday also while I was preparing, I thought, okay, till this time it has not happened. Let me observe this time. But it did not went well for me. I did not come to any conclusion. I still feel very much associated with body. And this I'm able to try that when I close my eyes, within fraction of seconds, what comes to me when I think about me is my face. So I see my photo. So that much association I have with the body that I'm able to notice. And earlier I had reactions to it, but this time I have accepted that this is there. So okay. And I still have to increase that time span, um, which is very less now also, that I have to sit, I have to observe, which exercise too. The time I need to give, it is very less, but I'm okay to see that there is possibility to work and a good amount of time will be required. I'm okay with it. Coming to step five, so these four parts were there: effect of behavior, situation outside, event in the body, imagination in the self. Starting from the fourth part, imagination in the self, I was traveling this time with the flight for workshop, and earlier and this time I could notice the difference, uh, that when I'm aware about imagination, I was very clearly seeing the effect of it on the body, cramps in the stomach, headache. Um, so I could just see the difference. That's it. This time, very clearly. So more clarity developed this time. This much I'm able to see. Event in the body, I'm able to observe that. Situation outside, able to observe that. Effect of behavior, able to see. So now I'm able to recall this example when my friend said that your whole life will be, spent on medicines only. Like with 2 3 moments, two, 3 moments passed, and I asked myself, uh, what meaning I want to give to this. And I said, this, she is my close friend. And after a very long time, after college pass, I got passed out from college. Everybody said it is very hard to find friends after that. So I always longed for a friendship. And when I have got this person in my life now at this stage of life, I thought I don't want to uh, miss her in my life. I want to be with her, whatever she does. So she is my friend. That main meaning when I gave, I became comfortable with her comment. And I was able to notice, I felt bad. I gave the meaning and I became comfortable. I carried on with it. After 2 3 days, 1 or 2 times I recalled that whole part. I became upset for a very 2-3 minutes of time. Then I continued. And after a week's time, she said sorry to me. And that time I felt happy. So there was different impact on her words when she said the words first time and when she apologized. So I'm seeing that still that effect of other people, situations outside, event in the body, imagination is happening. But whenever I take decision, I'm able to observe it. And this time I could notice many sanskars more. The list got added. Um, that I am having that conditional relationships in me. When this proposal on workshop gets shared between the difference of effort towards excellence and effort towards competition. Number of times I have went through that slide, and every time I heard it or shared it, I felt it is not me who has conditional relationships. But this time I could notice it very clearly that how this conditional relationships, when the goal is that I want to do this task and for this that this person will help me, um, is so prevalent in me that I could notice clearly. Um, this time with step 5, I could see that for reading the sensation, for associating meaning to that sensation, and getting the influence of it, for all these three, the sanskar is playing a crucial role. And I could try it for many incidents. So this was about step 5. About step 6, um, yes, I tend to react if my sanskar is based on assumption. And I respond when my sanskar is based on understanding. But now I won't say this understanding. This time I noticed every time I wanted to work on myself with the feeling of trust. And I thought um, that I am trying to see the intention of mine and the other. But this time I could very clearly notice that I am relating with the other person when I am noticing the similarity in competence level. Still, my attention has not shifted to intention part. I say, oh, this person also must be going through the same problem. So I have to relate with this person. So I'm comparing competence. Whenever the person is nearby my competence, I relate with the other person. So I think 6B is not happening. 6A, I'm able to move on. This much about 6B. And with that 7th step, I'm able to see that I need to work. And this time when we were starting with 12th batch, I was in a hope that soon the exercise 3 will start and somehow I will get rid of all the problems once this understanding of space takes place in me. But now, after the time passed, I thought I'm okay to wait. I'm okay to wait for the right time, and I'm okay to wait for this whole process to take place in me. Now I am not in hurry. This much I think I am okay with exercise 1 and 2. About this part that happiness is my innate nature, I think I got idea that I'm very much dependent on effects from outside. I'm very clear that throughout the day, most of the program is for this part only, that how I will be happy from outside. Yes, this difference I have noticed that the things which were earlier used to excite me are not now. Earlier, I became upset with it that how come I'm not excited with it? At least that moment of happiness I wanted to get, that also I'm not getting. Uh, but the pattern has changed. So earlier, if buying a new thing was making me happy, now listening to a comment from someone is making me happy. So this much shift has taken place. The source has changed, and now I have noticed that change, but it is not completely in align with my innate nature. Yes, I got a very few glimpse of it that this is possible. Uh, my program is that I want to work for it. I think with 12th batch, my time which I'm able to associate for this whole process has reduced. I think many preconditionings took over and I was not aware. Um, but again, I think I'm able to come to this conclusion that um, I want to work for myself, and this is the whole lifetime process, and I'm okay to go ahead with it. This time, January, February, March, on an average, one face-to-face workshop and few online sessions. That was the time when I was completely involved with the content. So I think this program suits me. Whenever I'm doing other activities, if I miss the awareness, then I carry on the UHV activity with preconditionings only. But when the sharing is happening, that time I'm able to focus more on the content part. So I think that is making me comfortable. I want to increase the time. I want to increase the time which I would have on each step of the exercise. And with that, I want to thank each and everyone. The list is very long, but everyone has helped me a lot. So thank you very much. Ji bhaiya.
Nidhi. So thank you so much for this very beautiful and illustrative sharing. You've taken each and every step with multiple examples, and you have gone into the minute details of each step, and that is helpful for each and every one of us. Sure. Thank you so much. Nice video. I request Kumar Bhaiya to share his comments and remarks regarding this sharing. Kumar Bhaiya, over to you.
जी भैया, namaste Didi, namaste everyone once again. So you have shared your observation very well, and I have always seen that you are able to articulate very well whatever is going on inside you and the way you are expressing yourself. You are able to observe it, articulate it, share it very well in a very detailed manner, and this was again visible in your sharing today. So this is very good as a sanskar that in a very poised manner you can observe and share, and this will help you very much in the long run also. Uh, One thing I can see, like the way you shared today, it is much better than the way you had shared, let's say, about a year back. And at that time, you were not attending the morning sessions regularly, and this time I think you have been attending. So you could observe yourself step by step, the shift that is taking place in you at every step, and the way it is transforming your participation. Uh, so this is good that the transformation is taking place, but at the same time, it may be the case that we'll have to observe that when you are in touch with the sessions, then you have one kind of state, and when you are not in touch with the sessions, then you are not in such a comfortable state. So some deep-rooted sanskar can be further observed, and that is something common to everyone. But with some of us, it can be this kind of fluctuation can be more. With some of us, it can be less. That is there. So this is one thing. Second thing, the way you have been participating, conducting workshops in various places, right? At the same time, taking care of your family, your household chores, right? So that is also very good to see and motivating for the team. Uh, Sometimes I have observed a kind of casual approach uh, in the way you participate at times. And I think now that is also coming down. So the gravity with which you shared the whole thing, uh, that is a good shift that I can see in you. And I think that gravity is going to be there in your further participation also. So overall, I can see a very good progress in you. You attended the workshop first time in 2020, and it's only 5 years now, maybe even less than that, and you have been working consistently. This is something very uh, visible, that your attentiveness towards the proposals, your uh, consistency towards exploring oneself and sharing, that has been there. Okay, the progress can go up or down at times, that is fine. But that consistency and that readiness to understand, readiness to take inputs, readiness to share your evaluation has been there. So that is a very good thing as a sanskar, and that will help you very much in your whole process of transformation. So my best wishes, Didi.
Ji, thank you so much, Bhaiya. You mentioned it rightly about that casual approach. But I will be looking for it, Bhaiya, now onwards. And what you were trying to tell about that touch towards the sessions and lack of it, I could see, Bhaiya. Like on my own, things are not happening. I need that support. Um, this is a sanskar, Bhaiya. Very well said. Thank you so much.
Nice, Didi.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for the comments.